A very warm welcome to all. Today, I, Ria Khanna, a legal intern at Lexis and Company, am here virtually to express my views on the topic constitutional rights of transgender people in India. Transgender people are the individuals of any age or sex whose appearance, personal characteristics, or behaviors differ from stereotypes about how men and women are supposed to be. Transgender people have existed in every culture, race, class since the story of human life has been recorded. The contemporary term transgender arose in the mid 1990s from the grassroots community of gender different people. The transgender community comprises of hijras, eunuchs, kotis, aravanis, jogappas, shiv shaktis, etc. And they, as a group, have got a strong historical presence in our country, in the Hindu mythology and other religious texts. The concept of Tritiya Prakriti or Napunsaka has also been an integral part of Vedic and Puranic literatures. The word Napunsaka has been used to denote absence of procreative capability. Lord Rama in the epic Ramayana, who is leaving for the forest upon being banished from the kingdom for 14 years, turns around to his followers and asks all the men and women to return to the city. Among his followers, the Hijras alone do not feel bound by this direction and decided to stay with him. Impressed with their devotion, Rama sanctions them the power to confer blessings on people on auspicious occasions like childbirth and marriage, and also at inaugural functions, which it is believed set the stage for the custom of Badhai, in which Hijras sing, dance, and confer blessings. Aravan, the son of Arjuna and Nagar Kanya in Mahabharata, offers to be sacrificed to goddess Kali to ensure the victory of the Pandavas in the Kurukshetra war. The only condition that he made was to spend the last night of his life in matrimony. Since no woman was willing to marry one who was doomed to be killed, Krishna assumes the form of a beautiful woman called Mohini and marries him. The Hijras of Tamil Nadu consider Aravan their progenitor and call themselves Aravanis. Jain text also makes a detailed reference to the transgenders, which means the concept of psychological sex. Hijra also plays a prominent role in the royal courts of the Islamic world, especially in the Ottoman Empire and the Mughal rule in the medieval India. A detailed analysis of the historical background of the same finds a place in the book of Gayatri Reddy, I quote, with respect to sex negotiating Hijra identity in South India, unquote, by the Yura Press 2006. Now, let's talk about the constitutional rights of the transgender people. The preamble to the Indian Constitution mandates justice, social, economic, and political equity of status. Thus, the first and the foremost right that they are deserving of is the right to equality under Article 14. Article 15 speaks about the prohibition of discrimination on the ground of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth. Article 21 ensures the right to privacy and personal dignity to all the citizens. Article 23 prohibits trafficking in human beings as beggars and other similar forms of forced labor, and any contravention of these provisions shall be an offense punishable in accordance with the law. The Constitution provides for the fundamental right to equality and tolerates absolutely no discrimination on the ground of sex, caste, creed, or religion. The Constitution also guarantees political rights and other benefits to almost every citizen. But the third community, transgenders, continue to be ostracized. The Constitution affirms equality in all spheres, but the moot question is whether it is being applied. Let's talk about certain problems faced by the transgender people. The main problem that are being faced by the transgender community are of discrimination, unemployment, lack of educational facilities, homelessness, lack of medical facilities like HIV care and hygiene, depression, hormone pill abuse, tobacco and alcohol abuse, penectomy, and problems related to marriage and adoption. In 1994, the transgender persons got the voting right, but the task of issuing them the voter identity cards got caught up in the male or female question. Several of them were denied cards with sexual category of their choice. The other fields where this community feel neglected are inheritance of property or adoption of a child. They are often pushed to the periphery as a social outcast, and many may end up begging and dancing. This is by all means human trafficking. Sometimes running out of all options to feed themselves, they even engage themselves as sex workers for survival. Transgenders have very limited employment opportunities. They have no access to bathroom, toilet, and public spaces. The lack of access to bathroom and public spaces is illustrative of discrimination faced by the transgender in availing each facility and amenity. They face similar problems in prison, hospitals, and schools. Key features of Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Act 2009. Section 3 states no person or establishment shall discriminate against a transgender person on the denial or unfair treatment in educational establishment, employment, or occupation, healthcare service, access to, or provision or enjoyment or use of any goods, accommodation, service, facility, privilege, or opportunity dedicated to the use of general public or customarily available to the public, etc. Section 4 states the recognition of identity of transgender person. Section 5 to Section 7 states application and issue of certificate of identity by the district magistrate. Section 8 states that the government shall take appropriate steps to secure full and effective participation of transgender persons and their inclusion in the society. Section 16 to Section 17 says the formation of National Council for Transgender Persons. What is wrong with this act and how it interferes with the fundamental rights of the trans community? Number one, it does not offer reservation for employment and education. Number two, the act criminalizes begging. Number three, the act allows self-perception of gender identity, but it mandates that each person would have to be recognized as transgender on the basis of a certificate of identity issued by a district magistrate. And number four, change of gender identity in documents cannot be done without a certification by the district magistrate after proof of a sex reassignment surgery is provided. That's all for this video. Let us talk about certain important case laws related to the transgender community in the next video. Thank you.